Make sure my brows are good. What's good, friends and family? Can everybody hear me out there in YouTube world? What's good? Shout to Mundo already in the building. Shout to Mundo. Mundo, I hit you on a text, but you didn't get my message. I'm about to jump you in a second. I'm gonna put the link in a minute, but I gotta make these announcements real quick. So let me catch in the chat real quick. Shout to Mundo. Mundo's gonna be hosting the show tonight, y'all. It's gonna be dope. Gary Barnett, what up? Dirty Workers, King Samurai, what's good? Reggie BX, Felicia Jordan in the building. Shout out to all the Paradise Life. Hey, Roma Queen's in the building. What's good, baby? Miguel, what's going on? Sean Smith, what up? Yeah, Sean Smith, I got something to tell you about the testing sites right now. 1 second. Young Philly in the building. 40, what's good? And what's good, baby? How you doing, brother? Yes, Mundo's joining me tonight. Let me just run some things down to you guys real quick. So real quick, we got spots open for Super Bowl. Had some people cancel, but cancellations are over. If you watch the video, I put down all the testing sites. Now I'm going to get to that in a second. Let me get to this. Email me for Super Bowl. If you want to get with Super Bowl, we still have VIPs available, but also individual events. All right, I will spend all day getting the little things organized I need to organize. So let me get into this testing thing. Now, how many we got in the chat right now? How many we got in the chat? I can't even see. Excuse me. Remember, I'm on stream, y'all. I'm still learning this stream, y'all. Thingamajiggy here. Let me go up in there. How many we got in the chat right now? Because today's gonna be good. I'm still learning this. All right, we got 38 in the chat. Let's ramp that up. So let me get to what I want to tell you. My announcements right now. Where's my thing at? Oh, I'll put it in the pinned comments when we're done. Shout out to my man Josh from Ohio. We have a flip-flop and a Paradise Life Super Bowl boxes. But obviously, I can't do everything. So Josh has set the boxes up digitally through a website. I'm going to put the information in the pinned comments. We have Paradise Life is $10 per box. Flip-flop is $20 per box. I'm going to put the information in the pinned comments with some other information. You guys got to Cash App Josh and then contact him, and he'll send you the link for the boxes. So we're going to be doing Flip-flop and Paradise Life football boxes. Super Bowl boxes, excuse me. I don't know where my information is right here. Hold on. All right, so testing info. You saw the video where to get tested at. Now I'm going to give you testing info. All right. So in Santo Domingo, using pre-meta tests, one of my links, many links I posted about tests. The wait was about an hour. Pre-meta test in Santo Domingo. The wait was about an hour. They got the results back in 6 to 7 hours. You get a message and you need your PIN to unlock it. And it's the last 4 digits of your passport, give or take. You can also go back and pick up the paper if you want, but they also have it digitally. That's in Santo Domingo. San Diego, one of the spots I've listed on San Diego. Wait time was 25 minutes. Results came back in 4 hours. CMC, this was just done yesterday. Shout out to my boy Rob. CMC in Sosua, Central Medical Cabarete. The wait was 20 minutes. I'm sorry. What did you say? A wait was 20 minutes. Got the results back in 2.5 hours at CMC. Now myself, I went to go do this test. I did it because I talked about it. So I said, let me go do this damn test so I can tell you what I went through, how long it took, so you ain't got to be asking me a million questions. And I still get asked a million questions. Now, sidebar and disclaimer alert. I was very upset I had to get this thing stuck in my nose, but I said, you know what? I'm going to do it for the people. So I went and got this thing stuck up my nose for the people. But time out. I will not go get the China test and shove anything up my ass for none of y'all. All right. That's where I draw the line. And so I did the nose test today. But if China test comes out and they be like, you got to take the China test to go back to the States, y'all on your own. I ain't putting nothing in my butt. So that's a disclaimer alert. So for me, I reserved yesterday, and I'm going to do a reservation service for you guys as well. Laboratory porta plot. I don't know if you guys can see that. Is it too much? There we go. Laboratory clinical porta plata in Sosua, across from the player in the video I showed you guys in the video. I reserved yesterday for this morning. I paid. They gave me a receipt. Well, actually, it's 4 receipts with a stamp on it. Went at every day at 11 a.m. Excuse me. Every day at 11 a.m. they do the testing. So even if you get there 7 in the morning reserved for the same day, you got to come back at 11 for the specifically for the antigen test. Now, I get there at 11. There's already some brothers there waiting. 11 o'clock, they call them in. Then I come in, get tested. Now, a little bit of hassle because there's a lot of people there, but they're not for the antigen testing. They're there for other things. You know, remember, it's still a laboratory. So it took a little minute, and they, got to talk to some people, and then you go inside. Test took all of 30 seconds, a minute, 60 seconds, in and out. Shoved in my nose. I teared a little bit, went out. Now, they told me at 4 o'clock, 4:30, the test, the results will be ready. Went back, got the test. Test COVID-19 antigen in Spanish, antígeno, negative, with a stamp on the bottom. A stamp on the bottom. Okay, so all my information, my passport number, antigen test COVID-19, negative, and a stamp on the bottom. So that's the antigen test at the laboratory. I did that. Got the results back in 4.5 hours. Now, I will not tell you wait till the same day. I will not even tell you wait till the day before. But I recommend, based on what I've learned and how this testing goes and how that little lab gets overwhelmed sometimes, I think they're only doing 20 tests per day. To just give yourself minimum 2 days in advance. You got to have the test within 3 days, but I would say minimum 2 days if you plan on waiting. So now about the reservations. I have worked out 2 situations. And no, I'm not going to be doing it, but I'm setting it up for you guys that want it. You can walk right down there and get tested. I mean, you got to do the appointment at Laboratory Porta Plata, but you can walk in CMC anytime. And if you want to go to Porta Plata, you can walk in there without a reservation. The one in Sosua only does 20 tests per day at the laboratory. So you got to reserve. Now, what I'm offering is for anybody who needs it. I just did it for 2 people today. Reservation, I can reserve up to 5 or 6 people, I was told. For the I'm reserved 2 people today, and I'm reserving 2 people tomorrow for Friday. I can do that. And I'm thinking about putting a shuttle together for people that want to go to Porta Plata. Now you say, well, Greg, why would you do that? And we can just go to CMC and get tested all day. Well, CMC is 4,400 pesos. And if CMC gets overwhelmed, they may not be able to give you the test until the next day. So it's just an option. CMC is right there. Sosua Lab is right there. Trust me, you can get tested. But some guys want the reservation option. I'm offering it to you guys. It's not a big deal. But like I said, I won't be doing it. You'll be paying one of my peoples for the service. I already set it up. Like I said, we've already reserved some people. So before we get Mundo up on here, as I said, I'm not doing any more tests. If that China test comes up when he put it in your butt, you're all on your own. I guarantee you. Super Bowl boxes, I'll put that in the pinned comments. Still got some spots for Super Bowl. As Mundo comes on, I'll be in the chat and I'll post some info and all that. Stay tuned for final thoughts from me and Mundo as well. Okay, that definitely got spots for the yacht party. Definitely got spots for the beach party. Got spots in the ATVs. Too many spots for the ATVs. Also, so, and I'm about to put the link in right now before I get into these comments. There's someone I asked Mundo when he get on, but I'll get to the comments real quick. Mundo, give me a second. Let me drop this link. Chat, let me catch up real quick. And yes, my nose was bothering me like for 2 hours after that damn test. Mad Clips in the building. What up, baby? King Diesel, what up? Rohan, what's good? Emil, what's good? Mama Flip in the building. Young Jay, what's good? Steve, what's going on? Velo, King Samurai, Traveling Things, Jesse Short, Chicago in the building. James Van, shout to all the members. If you're not a member, hit that join button, become a member. King Samurai, what up? Shelton Collins, what's good? King Smitty, Blaze, what up, Blaze? Y'all check that video out. JG Auto Imports in Santo Domingo. Young Philly, what up? Yes, I am the people's champ, Murder Mace. I did not want to get that damn thing up my nose, but I did it for the people. Can't talk about it if you ain't live it. Jimmy. LJ Lenny, what's good, baby? Big Reg, appreciate you. All right, let me get a Mundo in here. 1 second. Let me copy. Where's the link at? Invite. Okay, let me get Mundo up in here. Copy the clipboard. I'm gonna catch up on these comments. Let me drop that link for Mundo. There we go. Okay. All right, so then for Mundo, get in here. My nose was really bothering for like 2 hours. No BS. Jackson Jeter, what up, baby? It's right by Western Union 29, literally right next to Western Union. Black Mama was good. Simon was good. Drew D. Rude, what up, baby? Yeah, they put it up to I got Mundo in the background. All right. Oh, they put it up to my brain, bro. Put it up to my brain. Angry Bus Driver, shout to him, man. He pulled up a flip-flop. Appreciate you, baby. All right, I got Mundo in the background. Give me 1 second. Mundo, what's good?
Salute to Flip. Salute to the chat. Whole Paradise Life. How you guys feeling tonight?
All right, so look, I got you on here right now before we get started into tonight's topic. So I don't know if you saw the video, and I'm going to go into this real quick and give my version. I would like your opinion. So there's a video going around of the police taking the Haitian flag on the
flag. I'm psychic. I knew you was going to ask.
See, I had to go in on somebody. Ray Lawyer, what up? I had to go in on somebody because they didn't get the backstory. They just got the video. All right.
I was going to do a video on it, but I said, let me chill. Let me leave that alone.
Nah, you should, because I'm gonna say my part. I need your opinion. So the videos of the police taking the flag off the business of the beach, the Haitian flag. So everybody went crazy. I said, hold up, guys, see, time out. Just like the CDC situation where nobody reads and nobody knew the test they needed, they got blood tests in Santiago. Everybody got stuck at the airport. I spoke to one of the ladies that was there. She one of the people got stuck. They all went and got blood tests because nobody read the CDC. We don't know the backstory. Everybody just thought people got stuck. So I'm a backstory type of guy. I like to know real info. So as I saw that, I said, guys, calm down. Oh, the Haitians, they hate the Haitians. I said, calm down. Because just 4 days ago, in Puerto Plata on the Malecon, 3 businesses, owned by white people, got all of their flags taken down. And one of the guys named Lee, who's very famous amongst people in Puerto Plata on the Malecon, was told by the police, if you put any of these flags up again, you will go to jail. And this was a white business owner. So I say that to say this. They went the other day to Sosua Beach, took the flag down. Everybody's like, oh, they're picking on the Haitians. No, they just did it a few days ago to white business owners in Puerto Plata. And I heard they did it to somebody in a German bar on the beach. I didn't see it for myself, but I was told they did. Now, I'm going to ask you your opinion on that, Mundo, in a second. But I want to say this. I didn't get that. There was a video from Finger I didn't get to watch it. If they didn't want the Haitians on the beach, there would not be 6 brand new Haitian businesses on Sosua Beach. So you gotta. I had this argument this morning. You gotta pick your poison. Are they hating on the Haitians and don't want them there, or were they taking a flag behind another reason. And the backstory is other people got their flags taken as well, because there's 6 brand new Haitian businesses on the beach. They didn't have to let them open those businesses if they didn't want them there, but they took the flag. Now, I don't know about any particular flag laws, Mundo. I would let you answer that. I haven't found anything. I didn't really research myself for more than 10 minutes on that. But I do know, but since they took it from other business owners who were not black, that it couldn't be just against the Haitians. So you tell me, is there a law? What do you know about this? Why are they taking flags down?
Yeah, it's basically laws, and not only in this country, almost every country, including in their country. You know, we can't put our flag up, but there's how you can put any flag up. You can put your flag up. You just got to put the Dominican flag next to it, and ours got to hang a little higher or a little bit, bigger. So that's basically it. That's by the laws.
Someone, sorry to cut you off, Mundo. And you know what's crazy that you said that? Shout out to my boy Steph. He literally texted me that his Dominican lawyer friend said that exact what you just said. It has to be with a Dominican flag as well. So go ahead, Mundo. I'm sorry.
No, it's basically that simple, and right now the president is a campaign trying to, reestablish more the patriotism back, to develop the culture. For example, at 12 noon, every radio station is supposed to play the national anthem, which in the grand majority, nobody does it. There's like 1 or 2 stations that might do it. So, they're trying to implement that. They're going hard on that. They just signed a bill that whoever high school student that graduates that doesn't know the national anthem can't get their high school diploma. So that's going to be a criteria for the high school diploma. So they heavy on the
that's crazy
patriotism right now at the moment. Yeah, and it was laws that's already in place. They're just enforcing them now.
And see how people don't know this, and they took that video and ran with it. But I was literally on Facebook and in a WhatsApp group. I was like, guys, hold on, time out. If I didn't see the other business owners on the Malecon and Puerto Plata complaining previously, and literally a picture of all their flags on the floor, it had flags from over one. I think one of the bars, not Lee's, another bar, had flags from all over the world, and they told Lee and him, if one of these flags go up again, you're going to jail. So it's like when I saw that previously, I knew there was a backstory. Now, shout out to all you guys for rolling with us. You see the Cash App, myself, and Mundo's on the bottom. Mundo, we got some things to talk about tonight. Thanks to Joel, I believe, right? He put some topics for us. And I told you guys, anytime, I had a dope live with Mundo last week. I'm going to go drop his channel, everything in the comments right now. I'm going to let Mundo take over. Mundo, it's your world right now. Rock with the show. I'm going to be in the comments right now until you need me.
But you could stay, but...
I mean,
yeah. I thought you want to leave me in the summer jam by myself. I said Queens. Joel, shout out to you. Yeah, they on the nationalism right now, Joel. And the topics for today was actually, Joel asked, which was 1, marriage between a DR woman and a gringo.
Yeah. The
process. And 2, cities for gringos to move to, not just the North Coast. So, he sent another one too, but, we wanted to keep it at 2. We decided to go with those 2 since one matched the other, because normally if you're looking to move over here and stay, you're going to end up wanting to look for a wife. So they go hand in hand, one lead to the other. Yeah. So let me see. Okay, so I want to salute everybody. What I'm going to do, I'm basically, hit the topics, with the main points on it. And then, how do we going to flow off the chat on you guys give your opinions, any specific questions, any disagreement with that, any agreement with that, So we could feed off that, and I can learn from you guys. So in the future, if I'm talking to anybody else, I can have you guys' perspectives, and you guys are the real travelers and the real gringos who are actually having the experience. Because even though I know the language and I travel and everything, all in all, I'm Dominican, so I had the language naturally, and I am from here. So I get that acceptance that you guys will still get the acceptance, but you know what I mean. It's not the same position. It's still a little difference. So you guys have an insight that I could never get. Because you guys will always be looked at as, okay, but you're not Dominican. So that little spice will be in it, which the chat's feedback will be helpful for me. Basically with that, the coverage is marriage between a DR woman and a gringo, the process. I'm going to get to that to the chat so you guys can give me more specific question to that so I can know how to hit it. And I'm going to start with the cities for gringos to move to, not just the North Coast. Okay. Well, we're not going to leave the North Coast out because, as you know, that's one of the main places, and there's always room for growth because there's a lot of places in the North Coast that's not as popular as, say, Puerto Plata or Sosua, or not as jumping, or not as developed in that way. But basically, cities to move to, I would say whatever you're looking to do, whatever your interest is. Are you looking to relax and retire on the countryside and not be bothered with anything? Are you looking to somehow make money? Are you still looking like for a city life where you can maybe invest in the economy and have your money grow in this country and be part of the affluent or money moving society, the high society or whatever? Or are you looking just to make some nice passive income where you're going to live off that plus whatever you have? Are you a beach type of person? Do you need a beach? Do you need a beach in the tourism area? Do you need just a private beach? So it basically starts on that, and how you implement other things into that. Let's say you're looking for a wife in the process. You shouldn't have prejudice, but you might look for a certain part that has certain women the way you're looking for them, even though they're all mixed everywhere. But, certain regions have different type of cultures, different, even though we're all Dominican, still like the North, which is the Cibao, as they call it, does it a little bit different from the South. The East is more tourist, so they're more like balanced. And the East is like they have their culture, but it's like really tourism because it's small over there. So it's not really like a little bit like Sosua, where almost everybody's not really from there, even though you do still have natives. So based on that little opening up, I say would be, the key point is, what are you looking to do? Are you looking to do a business? Are you looking to just settle down? So with that, you guys in the chat, Flip is a person that came down here. So for example, I don't want to speak for him, but I would guess, he came down, he saw a place like Sosua, but there's a place I'm already down with the fellas. I could be with the fellas. I like the country where I can move around anywhere. And my type of business, I could offer American service. So I need to be where Americans are. So he's not going to go to the countryside where there's no tourists to try to, sell things to even though he could, if that's what he wanted to put his mind to and look for a hustle or a grind that's in that part of the town. But he wants to be, his type of ambiance, what he could deal with, what he could control. So where he picks the North Coast. He can easily pick, Bávaro or the East, which is tourist, Puerto Plata, La Romana area. He got the language, he got the style, he got the finesse for it. So he could definitely go to any one of those places. So I'm going to let Flip speak on, probably why you guys probably already know why he chose the North Coast. And then right there, we jump into the chat and get some of you guys' opinion on what you guys are looking for. And then maybe I can answer more, more in depth onto what you guys are exactly looking for.
Definitely a great explanation. So in the chat right now, before I get started, first off, Mundo, I just peeped your shirt. That's a dope ass. I'm like, is that your Mundo?
I did a few of these back in the days when I first started the channel to see what the quality of the team was, and I'll be having them chill around in the crib, or if I'm going to get on the can.
Dope shirt. So listen, chat, before we go into it, as he gave you the breakdown of different areas, I want you guys to type in the chat, what are some of your favorite areas, or what areas you have an interest in seeing. But back to what Mundo was saying, for me, I started on the North Coast. My first just visiting, you know what I'm saying? I don't think I even traveled out of Sosua until my second year in the country. I didn't even leave Sosua. Meaning second year, meaning my second year of traveling down here, which was probably, I only did like 3-4 trips. And then I went to Puerto Plata. Went to Santiago. And then as I started coming down more and traveling the whole country, what I tell people is this, and you're 100% right in what you said. For me, the North Coast is the best place for Americans, Europeans, Canadians, because it's more of a concentration of us. And when I say us, I mean non-Dominicans, that you're going to bump into somebody. If you're alone, you're going to find a friend. You know what I'm saying? Now, who knows if that's a good guy or bad guy? I don't know. But you're going to find somebody, whether it be Puerto Plata, Sosua, Cabarete, Sabaneta, not Samana. Sabaneta, you're going to find someone. So in the North Coast, since there's so much of a concentration of us and we're in like the main areas you can go to, for someone trying to get their feet wet, to me, it's the best place to be to learn, and then spread out. Case in point, my man Kelvin. Kelvin started in Sosua. I went to Puerto Plata. He ventured to Puerto Plata, which wasn't a far venture for him. He kept going to Sosua every damn day, but he tried a little bit. Then he tried Santiago. You know, he's slowly ventured out. Then he tried San Francisco. Then he went back to Sosua. Then he, but he knew he could venture out. Now he's in San Francisco again. So it's like you can use the North as a starting point and then find your way around. Now myself, I lived in Haina for about, I say 6 months, 7 months. I had a crib for like 9 months. I was probably out there 6, 7 months. I enjoyed it because I enjoyed that atmosphere. What I didn't like was the traffic when I went into the city. It was like being in New York. That traffic is nuts. That's one thing that ran me out of Santo Domingo. I love being in Santo Domingo to visit, but staying there long. I was just picking up my man Dia and Brandon. I loved it, but the traffic is nuts. You know what I'm saying? So cool to visit. I couldn't stay there long term. That's just me. Honestly, and I don't know how you feel about this, Santo Domingo made me feel like I was back in New York. Yeah. And the whole idea of being here is to not feel like I'm back home. You know what I'm saying? I love the Campos. I love Bani. I love San Francisco de Macorís, San Pedro. But could I live there long term? I don't know. I need a lot of stimulation. So I can visit those Campo towns for a week, I guess. But I don't know if I could do a few months at a time. I know I could, but I'd probably get bored real quick. It's going to
get boring. Yeah, it's going to get boring.
Because I'm used to the fast pace. Even this morning, this is Sosua, and I don't open till 8. I'm at the bar at 6:45. When everybody walked in, like, what time did you open? You know what I'm saying? Because I need that stimulation. Whereas in the campo, there's not much stimulation. And I ain't the type to sit in the crib all the time. So for most of you guys, I got guys that live in Santiago. I could never live in Santiago because I need to be near a beach. There's no beach in Santiago. You know what I'm saying? So I got guys who love Santiago. I love the nightlife. That's it. To me, every place in this country has its ups and downs, its highs and lows.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just like you said.
Just like America, yeah. Florida got the weather, but got this. New York got this, but the prices.
Same. Just like you said, and we're talking to you guys, have to find what's good for you. Because what's good for Mundo may not be good for you. What's good for me may not be good for you. You know what I'm saying? Our lifestyles may not be good for you. So, like, I live in Sosua Bajo. Okay. I heard a comment one time. Someone said, you live in a Dominican area. This is the Dominican Republic. Every area on the island in Dominican Republic is a Dominican area. You have security. You have other people over there. But it's a Dominican area because it's Dominican Republic. Now, where I live is called Sosua Bajo. But believe it or not, there's actually a lot of gringos that live over here. You got Europeans, brothers, all up and down here. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's weird, funny story. I ordered sushi the other night, and I tell the guy, call me when you get to the door. Call me when you get outside by the church, because I'm right there. Someone's knocking on my door. I'm like, there's no way he could find my door. It's impossible he finds my door. Everybody knows me out here, but I'm like, this guy don't know me because there's no way, I'm telling him where to come. So I go, how'd you find the crib? He stopped and asked somebody on the corner, one of the motos. He was like, hey, I'm looking for this house over here, but I don't know the number. The guy said, what type of food is that? He said, it's sushi. That's got to be the damn gringo over there. So I'm like, I'm laughing. He's right. And everybody knows where I live. So he said, go over there, go to the back. That's his house right there. And I'm cracking up because, they all know who I am. So when they said sushi, they immediately knew it was me. So it's like over here is cool. Great area. Right up the mountain, you got the Campo, but you got $1 million houses to the right. You know what I'm saying? So everywhere has its highs and lows. Now, for you guys, we're going to jump into the chat. For you guys, got to understand something. You have to find your individual happiness in where you stay at, which is why I tell people, and I don't know if you agree with me, Mundo, rent first before you buy, because you don't know if you're gonna like that place. You may hear too many motos. I got my windows closed right now. I'm used to this guy right here. He don't blast his music. He's playing bachata for the past 2 hours. That may bother you. It don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? The motos may bother you. I got a dump truck that comes through here. A guy, his girlfriend lives across the street. He comes through once a week at 4 a.m. It don't really bother me. The dog's barking. You guys have been on my lives. You guys heard the dogs barking sometimes. They've actually quieted down recently, but they were barking crazy at one time. Only when people walk through. So you have to find what works for you. You know, that your individual thing. Now, Mundo, anything you want to say? I'm gonna jump into these comments right now.
No, yeah, you could go highlight in the comments. We get to that. You know, talking about the dog barking in my day life, they about to start hearing the rooster because I just got a rooster. He's sleeping right in the bathroom. I got him right back there in the bathroom. This first night today in the crib. So yeah, they're gonna be hearing the rooster singing.
That's crazy. Are you fighting them or just what are you doing?
Yeah, it's to fight them. They gamecocks. Yeah.
Nice. And if you ever been to a cockfight, let me tell you guys, I've been to a few of them. They got arenas out here, like real deal arenas.
$1 million arenas,
a big one in Mass.
In there, yeah.
And blood's going everywhere. So get in the back rows because blood's flying everywhere. All right, Rod Lewis, what up, baby? Let me see. Ray Lawyer,
it's a gentleman's sport. They played Gamecocks in the White House before. It's a gentleman's sport.
No, it's dope. I just don't understand how to bet. You're gonna have to tell me one day how they make the bets. They be talking too fast, and I'm like, huh? What are you betting on? Like, I don't know what they're betting on.
They say like Mila Ocho is 1,008 or Mila Say is 1,000 to 600. Whatever the Mila is to, if you take the 600, that means that you only getting paid 600. That means you got the favor, whoever winning at the moment. And
whoever winning at that time.
Yeah. Let's say you be like Mila Do is 1,200. So you only lose you only win 200 pesos. But you risking 1,000, but that's because your rooster's already winning. Like the other one's almost dying. That's after start. That's why it's so much yelling because you bet at par at first, but as the fight progress, one is winning like second round, third round. You be like, I'll give you 1,000 to your 700, 1,000 to your 500. So if it was in English, you would understand it. It's in Spanish. Like what they saying, you like 1,000 to your 5. You like bet 1,000 to 500 two more times. You like bet like that. Yeah.
I just saw money was moving. But I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was like, what? Because, I'm thinking you make a bet, whatever. So now I understand. They were betting as the fight.
As the bets, yeah. So they'll make like 10, 20 bets. So they'll be paying here, collecting over here.
That's crazy. I never knew that. Me and my man was laughing at Bonal one time. We were like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm trying to get the blood of me. But there's some money exchanging hands right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Barissimo, what up, baby? New Ever Jers, what's good? Yeah, so y'all got Mundo's YouTube, his Cash App. Mine, his Cash App rolling across the bottom, but his Cash App is YouTube. My Cash App.
For example, San Cristobal, now that we're in the topic, which you guys know where I'm from, like one of the good things from here is that we got Santo Domingo, which is the capital, 15 minutes away. So if you live, for example, Lomina, which is Santo Domingo Este, I'll get to Lincoln in 27th of February, which is the center of the city, before somebody in Lomina who's actually in the capital. Because I got the highway, which is 15 minutes right into Pintura,
right there.
Which is the beginning of Santo Domingo. So we got the benefits that we go there anytime we want real close, but then we got still kind of campo. We still a campo. So we don't got that much traffic. Prices we are a little bit cheaper. Everything's still expensive everywhere, but it's a little bit cheaper here, for example, for the food, things like that, because we closer to the countryside.
That's a good point. Now I'm gonna get to Alfredo's comment first. Let me see. Show it, right? Let me see. Oh, there we go. So Alfredo, he said different. This is something I've been dealing with, Mundo. I try to explain to people they don't understand. Now, funny story. Years ago, before GPS actually worked, I used this GPS to go to. I was going to San Juan de la Magua. The GPS took me on a shortcut, or so I thought. And it went to Costanza, that right to Costanza that you go into the mountain.
Yeah.
I'll never forget this. It was about 14 miles up, 15 miles down, which was wild. I'm above the clouds, above all of the other mountains. I get over there because I don't know where I'm going. I'm following the GPS. I get there, and I guess this road is built now. I don't know. But it was me and a horse. Just us two on this road. There was nowhere else to go. The road was just all dirt. And the road was about this. The truck couldn't really even fit on the road. So I had to back out. And the horse is looking at me like, this is my road.
This is my side.
So I back up. I go back into the town. And I go, do me a favor. Can you tell me how to get back to the highway? So he don't understand me. And I don't understand him. And I understand everything. But I don't understand him. I'm really like, what the hell is he saying? And I'm like, directions. You know what I'm saying? So I get my Dominican homie on the phone. I go, do me a favor, talk to him. I give him the phone. They're going back and forth. He give me the phone back. I swear to God, my boy goes, Greg, where are you?
Oh, you
I have no idea what that dude just said. I said
yeah, when they be up in the mountains and the Cabo, they talk different.
No, he said, I don't know. He's talking Spanish, but I don't understand him. And I was like, I said, my boy, I said, Flacco, what are you talking about? He goes, Greg, I'm sorry. I have no idea you at, and I don't understand what he's saying. I said, mother. So I went like that, this sign language, like, can you give me directions? So he goes, this, that. I go, okay, figured it out. I was right back on the mount.
I got it.
So different. So Alfredo, to that, and I want you to respond to that, Mundo, because that is something I'll tell people. Depending where you are, the dialect is different. Now, before I let you go, Mundo, there was something that caught my attention from an ex-girlfriend. I don't know if you ever heard this before. So I was like, K, what's up? And he said it just like this. Ay, ma suerte, tu sabes? And I said, ma suerte, what's wrong? This is bad luck, and as far as I know.
Yeah.
And they were all giggling. And this is like little kid gangbangers back then. They were like 16 years old, star on their shoulder, little tough guys.
Yeah, that's the classic one.
Yeah. And it was like, ma suerte, tu sabes. But then my mind had to say, it was like, ma suerte, like that. And I was like, that don't make sense. So I told my girl, I was like, that don't make sense. She go, no, that means cool, like heavy, like they chilling. I was like, no, that's not what it means. But in that barrio,
in that area,
what it meant. And that's what I'm going to say that before you got started. I'm like, that's not what that word means. But they made it mean that. You know what I'm saying? And it was even my girl was like, all I know is one day I came back to the campo when they were saying that. And everybody says it. And I was like, all right. So basically the different dialects. How do you feel about that, especially when you travel, Mundo?
Yo, no, it's exactly like that. But again, normally that more plays out like that mala suerte. In the experience you mentioned it, that's more like in the urban. So that's like, that'll be like, you coming from work, you 50 years old, and them young boys in front of the building, and they saying a slang word. Where if you old school and that word was used before, you got your kids, but sometimes you might really not know what they're saying. Like kids are sitting around their parents and they don't know. So that's kind of like that. It's certain areas take it like that. But as far as just the dialect, definitely different places. Like the high up you go in the mountains. Mm-hmm. Again, it's just compared like to any other country. It's like a hillbilly. You go deep in the mountains to a real hillbilly, and they're gonna talk in a dialect where it's English, but you don't know what they're saying. So it's like that here. You got to be from certain areas to really understand it and pick up. But overall in Spanish, somebody from the north or understand somebody from the south, but they'll know, oh, he's not from here or he's from somewhere else.
I peep that. I peep they can say they know that you're not from this area when you start talking. As far as to each other, I've noticed Dominicans realize that the particular Dominican is not from this area when they start speaking. I did realize that.
North, south, and east. 3 different, tones that they have.
There was a comment I wanted to post up here. Let me see. It was a good comment here. 1 second.
One time I got these mosquitoes 40. Oh man, the mosquitoes is everywhere.
I'm gonna post this right here.
You gotta be city where you ain't really got like no trees, no instead.
There's mosquitoes everywhere, man.
That's what I'm about to say. I was trying to sell us like go midtown, go in the high rise. Hey, you still gonna have them. You better get the screens in your window.
I get bit everywhere, bro. Yeah. So look, Emil Lopez, shout to you. This is something I deal with a lot, and now that I got you on the show, I need your confirmation on how you feel. I keep hearing San Diego girls look the best.
I covered that earlier. That's how Emil Lopez feel. So that's 100% correct. So where he needs to be the North Coast, because that's the complexion and the flow of those girls. That's how he like them. So, that's the area he needs to dibble and dabble in, where he going to find somebody that, no matter what baggage or benefits she come with, he going to be happy when he laying down next to her. So there's no issues.
I got you, but I always say it's a country full of beautiful women. And then
but we know how to behold her. So
got you. Got you. I can go to the. I told people the story when I was in Panoramic. I went to Camp David in San Diego with some friends and some ladies, and me and 2 of my boys walked the mountain. at that lawn in Panoramic with Santiago Puerto Plata. We walked it. In the mountain, we had to stop for water because it was crazy. Met this beautiful young lady. Ended up kicking it, went out. She had never been out before in Santiago. She lived in the mountain. We go out. We're in Casablanca in Santiago, the old Casablanca. And, that's dope boy heaven right there. So all the dudes see her, and they're like, where do you meet her? Like, where'd you get her from? And these dudes are speaking English. They're like, where'd you get her from? I'm like, relax. So we drinking, chilling. And she never got that much attention. And I tell people that was one of the most beautiful Dominican chicks I've ever seen. But it just so happened she was up top and literally in the top of the mountain. We had to walk about 2.5 hours just to get up there. You know what I'm saying? It just so happened I bumped into her. So I think there's women all over the country. But if you look
that's a whole fact. That's a whole fact.
Anyway,
the South, San Juan, Barahona, like I've met a gem from probably every province in this country that they could be up there. I don't know about Miss Universe because they got standards for whatever, but I'm talking about whatever a man look, it's not gonna be no man that said that ain't excellent. But again, it's certain regions that looks a certain way. So even if you're gonna have, you can have a mix. For example, Santiago, you can find a chocolate Afrocentric that's from Santiago that looks the bomb, but that's not gonna be the majority. So if that's what you're looking for and you want to find a lot of them, so you could pick out of the bunches. For example, if you're looking for a darker tone, like we're not being racist, we're being real. If you're looking for a darker tone, Afrocentric, you need the South. You need, La Romana, San Pedro, Jaina. You need, Bani there, you got to mix. See, that Bani changes because they're not like Santiago. Like it's like they're light and look like them, but they have a little color to them. Like they're more like dark. What do you call like black-haired females or whatever, even though they look, like the blonde hair type, like from the Santiago. So like different areas got what the majority is. Now, can you find different ones in there? Yes, everywhere, because there's a mix everywhere. But, if you want a chinky eye looking when you go to Chinatown in New York, right? If you want this, you go, it's still certain sections,
No, you're right about that. So, I mean, like I said, for me, I've been all over the country, and I haven't been one place where I could be like, oh, they ugly over there. I haven't been one place in America where I could be like, oh, they ugly over there. So Joel, shout out to Joel. He's the reason for some of these topics. He says, for me, the beach is not a priority. I want a good, normal woman and to integrate in the culture. So my heart is set on Santiago. Puerto Plata, North Coast doesn't have enough to offer me. Well, Joel, that goes back to what me and Mundo were just talking about. You can find that anywhere. There's not a playbook that says go to Santiago to find you a wife or a girl to put you in that situation. I've been in the mountains. I've been all over the place, and they're just good women. We talked about this last week. It's your approach. It's how you deal with them. So there's no playbook saying, well, if I go to Santiago, I'm better off than going to Puerto Plata or going to Santo Domingo or going anywhere. It's really up to you and your approach in the situation. Now, Mundo, how do you feel about that based on Joel's comment?
That's correct, but I would agree with him in the part where he said, he mentioned to integrate with the culture. So I guess he's feeling like, the North Coast, even though it's still Dominicans, like you said, you're still in the Dominican complex, you still this, even though there's a lot of Americans around you, it's again, they got that taste where it's too many Americans or too many travelers, Canadians, Europeans. So maybe somewhere where it's not tourists, not with the beach, they feel like they're more home, like, it's more homegrown. So a place like Santiago would be somewhere probably good to start. Why? Because you still got that city aspect of it. So you won't be fully disconnected because you're still American. You can't just go straight to the boondocks where, you're not even getting a cheeseburger when you want, respect to all vegetarians or whatever, but you might not want that regular 25 peso meat that they be having in them hot dog carts in some campos, no disrespect. Even though a lot of campos still got at least one restaurant, but a city like Santiago, Santo Domingo, La Vega, or even, there's a few ones that, that get Puerto Plata, we could include that one, even though it's the North Coast. I haven't really been up there, but that's like real touristy flip, or would you say that?
No, it's just Puerto Plata is just starting. They've I don't know if you ever heard me say this, Mundo, about Puerto Plata. Now, the big cities in DR are Puerto Plata, Santiago, Santo Domingo. And Dominicans actually said to me, and that's why I say this, Puerto Plata was always like the crappiest city out of all the big cities. You know what I'm saying? We don't have all the good stuff like Santiago and Santo Domingo has. Now, with the port being there, it's coming up. There's nicer restaurants. There's a lot of things. But that also goes back to my business video I did about why things fail. Because Puerto Plata never had those fancy restaurants and all of that, when they do come in, it's like, that's too expensive. We can go to the cart on the street because it's the same food, but it's cheaper and we're used to it. So it's kind of coming up, and there's a nice middle class coming up in Puerto Plata. The thing with Puerto Plata was it was never like Santiago. It was never like Santo Domingo, where you had that city lifestyle and those nice restaurants. Now it's slowly coming into that atmosphere. And I told people years ago Puerto Plata was going to blow up. It was only a matter of time. And now it's coming up. But it's still kind of that Campo feeling, but it's becoming more of a city like it was supposed to be originally.
Yeah, the more population, as time goes, the younger generation growing up, it start populating, there's more demand there.
I agree. And like I said, I saw it coming years ago. So 29, shout out to you, 29. I got that cash app. Appreciate you, brother. Always. So he goes, I keep hearing I should visit the countryside. And what's so special? Okay, so basically, when we say the Campo or the countryside, for me, Mundo and 29 in the chat, the countryside is very peaceful. I love visiting the countryside, but as we just spoke previously about where you want to be, could I live in the countryside all the time? I don't know. I know guys, I know Americans, I know there's two Europeans in Nagua, in the mountain. Like, I'm like, how they do it, I don't know. Beautiful home, but they're secluded from everything and everybody.
That's why they got everything in there. When they want everybody, they go out to see everybody.
It's dope, but I'm like, I would have to go see everybody like 4 or 5 times a week. You know what I'm saying? But it's very dope. Now, I love visiting the country. I brought guys to the Campos to hang out. It's more laid back, more, what's the word I want to use? More inviting, if that's the right word. People are.
It's like a past day. It's like Sunday barbecue. It's like
everybody's friendly. Listen, I was at one place. The guys I brought the gas for Hernandez. We went to the car wash. Let's go hang out the car wash real quick. Bullshit, blah, blah, blah. So we at the car wash, and I'm the only one speaking Spanish. No one else spoke Spanish. So some ladies come up, and they're like, oh, my God, these girls are beautiful. I said, this is just everyday stuff out here. There's beautiful women just chilling. And to them, it's normal. You know what I'm saying? So then one of my homegirls is I bump into her, and she's like, I'm going to get y'all a bottle of ice. I said, cool. So we sitting there. The workers all thought I was Dominican. And they go, your Dominican boyfriend is real cute. Like, why's he got all them gringos with? And they're like, she's like, nah, he's a gringo too. They're like, gringo too. You know what I'm saying? Oh, sure. I don't hide it. I'll be open with mine. I told my ish, and I'll be like, hey, I actually had a girl tell me, where you from? What part of the country you from? She you from Santiago? I was like, nah, mommy, I'm a gringo. And she laughed her ass off. You know what I'm saying? But for me, the countryside just more laid back. I've had most of my peaceful times in the country, hanging out, BS, and maybe just get away for a couple of days. I don't know how often you get to like the real countryside, Mundo, but for me, I just love the country and the people that just really lay back, and I can kind of clear my head. And there's no rush to do anything. You know, get up, Camaros down the block, get what you need. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the motor go fix it up. Now, roosters everywhere. You know, you're going to hear the dogs and roosters everywhere, but it's laid back. So how do you feel about the countryside based on 29's question?
Yeah, it's just what you said. The countryside is just like more peaceful, it's more relaxed, you know, it's less people. You know, it's just how it sounds. And you compare it to the States. Listen to how it sounds. In the States, when you go to the country, down south, whatever, you have less people. Everybody knows each other. No matter how bad you want to be, you can't act out because you're going to fall back on your family last name and you're going to have the family looking stupid. So, you know, it's just more relaxed. It's like you going in for the weekend, you going to chill. But like Flip says, it'll get boring because it's really nothing to do but relax and chill. The river, to have cookouts, to drink. So eventually it's not like a flow of people moving. It's all the same people. Everybody know what's going on. So it's basically on that. Me, myself, I come from the campo. Like my origins, like even though I'm in San Cristobal now, I'm from the hills of San Cristobal, which it was like no roads or anything. Then we came down to another campo, like my mother and eighth generation, then moved here, then from here to the States. But my origins come from the straight hills, yeah.
See, and before we get into Richard's comment, what Mundo just said, now I'll go back to Gasper Hernandez because I had to explain to my boys. They were asking the young lady, "You got any friends?" You know, I got how we do. You got any friends? You got any friends? She was like, "No, I don't know nobody." They be like, "But you're here." I go, "Fellas, she's not from here." Now, shout to my homie, what did I used to call her? Freckles. She was just the most squarest girl you ever met in your life. Now, I explained to my guys why, and they didn't understand me, so I had her explain it. What you just said about being in the hills, I told her, explain to them how long it takes you to get home. So they were like, but she lives in Gasper Hernandez. I said, yeah, well, we're in the bottom of Gasper Hernandez. There's a whole mountain back there. So she broke it down to him. She said, I got to take a taxi up the mountain an hour. Then I got to take a moto, once the taxi can't go no further, another 40 minutes. Then I have to walk another 45 minutes to an hour, and I'm at my mother's house. And they were like, what? I said, yes. I said, you guys don't realize people live all the way up there. She don't know nobody because she's from up there. She came down here to go to school and work. She was.
And let me add a disclaimer to that. Whenever you get like a friend that think he in shape, that he a jogger, that he runs, like I tell you this, when you get a chick like that, like, I bet you we go to where she lives and going up them hills and all that, I bet you'll be tired and gasping for air. Before a 60 or 70-year-old from that community, they know how to walk up them hills some way where you'll be dying out there, tongue sticking out, and them old people walking like nothing up them hills.
I already know because they've been doing it forever. I'd pass out myself. I ain't gonna lie to you.
There's a trick to that. When I try to go back home, I'll be.
This question right here, I'm gonna leave for you, Mundo, because it's asking about what is the average cost of living in Santo Domingo in your opinion?
In Santo Domingo, okay, I would say, look, for everybody in general, anywhere in the country, I'm gonna give out a round figure, and with it, you can go off. If you're a single person, $1,500, you can survive in this country, any province you want. But remember, you're gonna survive. You're not gonna ball out. You're gonna survive. I'm not saying you're gonna go hungry. 1,500, you're gonna survive. 2,000, you're gonna do okay. Anything better than that, you'll be right. And how you could be like, why everybody says that figure? I'm about to say go figure, but I sound like I was thinking. In the residency, if you look when you're going to apply for residency, there's certain things like certain stipulations that you're going to use to apply. One of the criteria for certain ones, like if you're a renter or this, like you don't have a job, you have to have like your income or your whatever has to be of 1,500 US. Another one has to be of 2,000. So it's a reason why the government, let's say for that, to give somebody residency that's coming from another country would set 1,500 or 2,000 US is because basically they figuring that with that, this person can survive in this country without being a burden to us. So that'll cover your rent, your food, and everything, no matter where you go. But again, anything over that is a plus to have luxuries into whatever type of lifestyles you're into.
And I totally agree with that. I've done a few videos. I've done it from I think the lowest I did was like 800 a month, and I told people 2,000 a month. You're living good if you manage your money right, guys. If I don't get to your comment, shout to D, shout to Pinnacle, shout to the whole chat, shout to Paradise Life. If I don't get to your comment, remember we're on the panel right now, so. Me and Mundo going back and forth. We're trying to
anyone's I see that are fast, I'll hit him too while he looks for any specific
100%.
ones to get hit. I'm afraid of that 2,500 for a single person. That's a great number. I tell you what, with that, if you got that secured forever, 2,500 a month, they're not going. You're good unless you know things just totally go haywire where price is not double, quadruple, or we go into this, just chaos where there's no necessity, nothing going around, then I can't call it. But if things stay how they are, even with the inflation that goes on, those 2,500, the pesos will have that inflation as well. So you'll be set with 2,500. And you should be able to some months save where eventually with that, you could turn it into another income somehow, some way.
I totally agree with this. All right. I just posted Mundo's channel again, both the Cash Apps again, the Super Bowl email. So let me get to
see a
this
few
next.
subs coming right away. Salute to them. Salute to other subs that came in. You know, shout out to Flip on both times. Now, the last time I came on, caught a nice number of subs, and then after that, he gave a plug, and everybody always show support. So you know, shout out to y'all. I mean, it's the least. You know, after me getting you those few thumbs down, because before you started, you had 2 or 3. Those ain't yours. It was probably my haters. Like, you got Mundo in there. So I appreciate overall everybody showing the love and the support.
Hey, tell them where to put that thumb at. You already know.
Yeah, they already know. In the Chinese test, that's where they can put it.
Hey, Jay Bogan, what's good with you, big brother?
Traveling about to go up, Flip. If they implement that as mandatory, a whole bunch of people gonna start traveling. Just be like, I had to get it.
Hold on. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. So you know people make those fake memes. I said it right, memes, right? So I saw it in one of my groups and I was crying because I thought it was fake. Like, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Then someone sent me the link. I almost fell out my bed last night laughing so hard. I couldn't breathe because I was like, it was funny just being a joke. It's even funnier because it's real. like the Chinese have said, we're gonna stick it in your butt to see if you got go. I said this morning, shout out to my man Dave Biet. I said, look, I did all the work. I put it in my nose. We good. I showed you guys how to do it.
Yeah, salute to you. They'll never get that from Mundo. Y'all ain't getting no test from Mundo channel for nothing. Yeah, I'll quarantine if I feel a little woozy, but nothing going in my nose.
And I'll be damn, I'd put that thing in my damn butt. I'll be like, y'all all on your own.
That nose joint, did it hurt?
It wasn't. It was annoying. But then like an hour later, I don't like anything near my nose or my eyes. I hate anything near my nose or my eyes. So it was
even
annoying.
With the Visine, I'm no good. The drops, I always have a bottle.
Me too. I mean, I hate anything nose and eyes. I can't stand it. So what happened was about an hour later, it just started being like annoying. Like it was like I felt it in my nose. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's weird. Like it was a mental thing, but it was annoying me. And I actually had to take a towel, and my head started hurting because I was like, this shit is bothering me. Even though, you know, just like I guess I was reliving it or refilling it. I don't know. But it's actually really super quick. But when you're done, it's kind of like you start feeling like little funny.
Yeah, like okay.
Let me
Shout
see
out to
here.
you. Yeah, I couldn't take that.
Where does basketball in top sports? As far as where do you feel basketball? I think baseball is the biggest sport in the Dominican Republic. I'm sure people do basketball.
I'm gonna tell you guys the truth. The sport that is most favored all over the world, no matter where it is basketball. Now, like Flip said, the reason why baseball is because it's even forced on kids. Why? Because that's where the money at.
That's where the money.
Somebody just asked me the other day on my chat, on my WhatsApp, out of the few people I connect with, like, yo, and you ain't got no family members that's baseball players, is that and third? I said, nah, not really no family members, and we broke down on saying, but I said a few close people. Just recently, my wife's friend, like her childhood friend that used to live with my neighbor's father, the little kid that played baseball. Long story short, kid just got $1.5 million.
I saw that.
Okay, you seen it? And that's from here. Okay, from right there.
It's on the minor league deal, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the bag is like at 15, 16 on that July 2nd. You get that signature. Even if the kid never does anything, even if you don't make it to major leagues, it's just that bonus. It's
got money.
Bonus sign. If you get that, it's a wrap. So they make sure the kids, they work on it because it's certain tools. It's like 5 tools, if you play a certain position or if you're going to be a pitcher, if you throw a certain velocity or you got certain, for example, if you left-handed and you throwing, for example, 80-something, it's money.
You already know.
It's not you right away. They not even waiting. They think they're going to teach you the mechanics. If you got the size as well. So, that's why baseball is so heavy. But any baseball player, you're going to find them in that basketball court, like on the daytime, really playing.
Everybody love
fun. Everybody love basketball. Now, it's not as easy to make it to the NBA as it is to the major league. So, or at least to get signed. Now, I'm not going to say make it to the major leagues. To make a bag is much easier in baseball.
Well, if you guys don't know, and I told you guys on my travels to Punta Cana and La Romana and Santo Domingo, that back road is all of the Major League Baseball camps.
Complex, yes, camps.
They got the complexes in the back rows in DR, right? And in the countryside. So it's like you can see all your major league teams there. They there for a reason. They got what is that program called? Play, I believe it's Play, where the kids go play baseball at an early age, learn all the tools and stuff at an early age.
Yeah. I mean, Play, there's a different name, Jay.
You know what I'm saying? So
plays, kids
just
sorry.
They even leave names. Over here they call it Play. So you have those programs because you may find a kid 14, 15 years old that becomes really good. And like Mundo said, he may never get to the major leagues, but he's got $1 million already in the minor leagues. So 40 just asked this question. I think this happens all the time. I don't know if you get asked this question.
Yeah, it sounds the same.
Bani and Bonao, well, Banu is Bonao, are two different cities. Bani is actually past where Mundo's from, San Cristobal. Bonao is by Santo Domingo Villa Altagracia. So before Santo Domingo, excuse me. So Bonao is before Santo Domingo. Bani is after San Cristobal. So they may sound.
I'm gonna give them an image. And sorry if you tuned in from Europe, but normally you guys still have the geography classes. San Cristobal, we would say Texas. Imagine if Mexico wasn't there. San Cristobal is Texas. So Bani would be like Arizona. Would be right on the coast, going west. And then Bonao would be sort of like what's on top of Texas? What, Louisiana or see, I put myself in the mix. Kentucky. They're like, Mundo don't know his geography. But yeah, it'll be like on top of Texas. So it's going north towards Santiago. So Chicago, that'll be sort of like Sosua, whatever that's at, all the way in the north, like that.
Exactly.
So now is the first problem.
They go in different ways. So, but always remember, it's Bani and Bonao, two different places. Let me see these. Hold on. So Emil says, Puerto Plata used to be the main tourist city back in the 80s and 90s, AIDS epidemic. I never knew that, Luzito. Let me put that up there. I don't know if you ever knew that, Mundo.
Oklahoma. Shout out to ML.
Said Puerto Plata used to be the main tourist city. In the 90s, AIDS epidemic, drugs hit the city. It destroyed the. I never knew that. I never knew that about Puerto Plata.
I wasn't too sure on it, and I'm not going to say no, because if he's saying it the way he's speaking it, it probably did impact it, somehow, some way. But
I always said that Puerto Plata was, and Dominican say this too, was the worst out of the major cities. Like it wasn't for it to be named as one of the 3 major cities in the country. It's terrible compared to when you go to Santiago, when you go to Santo Domingo.
But it's really because of the places in it. Because remember, Puerto Plata is the province. So even though you have like Sosua and all of that, that falls into the numbers for Puerto Plata.
Oh yeah.
So that's why it gives it a higher number. So any like income that come from it, the people that's around it. So that's what makes it, like maybe the 3rd or 4th major one.
Emil, shout out to you, Oklahoma. I just caught up to that comment. Yeah. So basically, for me, as far as back to the original comment of Livingston, now he was also talking. I believe Joe was talking about marrying a Dominican chick. Was that part of it?
Marriage. No, Dominican. I got it right here.
My bad. I had it.
The process of marriage between a DR woman and a gringo, the process.
Oh, so real quick, Mundo, sorry. Before we go into that, you mentioned something. I want to touch on that real quick because I think we spoke on it before. I see you've been obviously researching the process for citizenship since you made a couple comments about that. We need that video. We need that video to give that info. You mentioned it, and I wanted to touch on that because a lot of people want it. I tell people, I only talk about the things I know, and if I don't know, I'm gonna bring you to the people that know. I have not had time to research getting the residency and all that. I know the little bit of information I do know. Even my accountant, we were talking the other day, and she's trying to find out information herself. As far as facts, factual information on how to get your residency.
I'm gonna send you the link so you can have it right there without help of anybody. Just reading it, even if it's translator with the Spanish you got, explains everything. The reason I haven't done the video already because I want to try to do it, with the images and professionally, where it doesn't seem like I'm trying to discredit anybody. So it could be something that is a video that'll flow and help a lot of people. That somebody can take like a neutral video that's just for information that people gonna use it for their benefit. I don't want it to be like one of those Mundo videos where I'm just talking and they just want to hear what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm gonna bring
because I've talked about it based off what I've read, the little bit of research I've done, but we need someone to give more info. I myself, it will take me some time to do that video. I won't even lie about it. It will take a minute. The bank video took me about 3 weeks. So you know what it is. Shout out to Brown Looker Baron. What's up, Jay?
Yeah, shout out Brown Looker Baron. Salute to you.
So
a quick disclaimer on that for the people that like the research or be reading. You know, you could give me two steps ahead of me and Flip or anything. The same way how Flip be showing y'all the website for the U.S. Embassy and he begin the rules from there. That's exactly how you do it. You go to the government site that actually expedites whatever document it is that you want, and they listen. I actually got a few other videos. I'm about to renew my license. I'm going to show y'all that one, which I was a little bit mad at because they charging me every year that I didn't renew, which doesn't make sense.
Charge you anyway.
Yeah, so I'm like, if the license is good for 4 years, it costs 1,100 pesos for you to renew it. It'll last you 4 years. So I ain't have a whip. So I said, my license expired. I ain't driving. I left it alone. 2 years passed. We just went into COVID. I'm like, it's about to be 3 years. So as you know, I just changed the whip up and all that. So I said, all right, I'm about to get out here. Let me go change the license so I won't get caught up. I'm about to be driving to the cities. 3,300 pesos I owe. 1,100 for each year. I'm like, if that's the case, I would have just paid it. Lasted me 4 years. I'm like, that's 12 years of service that y'all just charged me for me not using it. So I'm like, I shouldn't get a ticket if you catch me with an expired license because you charge me automatically. Like I owe that bill. So I shouldn't even get the ticket, but that's another story. What I was going to say is you go to the website. For example, you go to U.S. Consulate, and right there you type the question you have, or you even put it on Google, and it'll take you to the actual website. Normally when it says .gov, G-O-V.do, that means that's an official Dominican Republic website, and it'll have the steps. Normally, it should have it translated into English, but if it doesn't, you can either hit the translate on the top of your screen or copy paste it. That with a little bit of chopped up or however the Google Translator does it, it'll be enough for you to know if you could do it on your own or what you need, or you could have somebody guide you, but you're already hip on what to expect. So anytime they tell you something different, hold on, you're going south for me, So
nah, you're right about that. You're right. And I learned something real big in the past 2 weeks. And especially with the conversation with the young lady that was in Santiago Airport yesterday. So someone I said something to someone when they posted up a thing, and I was like, yo, you guys don't read. And someone said, this is the Twitter universe right now. 160 characters or less, and there's nothing else being read. And I was like, I didn't understand it because I don't be on Twitter, so I don't know. And so I'm laughing because everything I do, every video I've made in the past couple of weeks, of all the information, I've been telling Americans about the CDC rules, and Americans don't know about the CDC rules until they went to the airport. I literally sat there and researched the CDC, researched what Biden said, which I'll get into that in a second, researched the interpretation by other companies and the CDC of both. And I'm like, so I'm doing all this reading, and you guys ain't even paying attention to what's going on around you. So people got in an uproar that Biden said he's going to require a quarantine. That was a big deal. Now, what I didn't know was Trump already had this in play about 6-7 months ago. Biden just re-announced that he's going to sign the order again in his favor. Immediately, I went to the CDC website because they always put something out there about what's going on. And the CDC said there has never been a plan in place to enforce a quarantine after travel. They do not know what Biden has planned if he has some type of enforcement. Went to the federal website. Biden executes a order for quarantine. It's an order. It's an official order. Nowhere in that order and after that order, any interpretation of that order, are the rules to quarantine. Now, the sidebar to it, by me researching and reading, your job can take that and use that, what Biden said, to force you to quarantine on after travel. That's different. That's your job.
Jobs are doing that anyway.
Jobs are doing it anyway. You're 100% right. But they can
people
use
were
that.
going. People were going, checking in. They said quarantine, and they were coming right back to DR for their 2 weeks, and then going back in their 14 days back to go to work. So 100%. They kind of stopped in a few places.
And they were using the president executive order to say you got to quarantine, because without that order, they don't have no leeway. So basically, it's the same thing we already went through, but no one was following it, and there's no way to enforce it. But nobody read that. Now, the people I spoke to that were in the Santiago airport yesterday and took the blood test really did not know that the CDC specifically said which test. I'm like, guys, it says specifically which test you need. They were all like, oh, we just went and got the blood test and it said negative. We walked in the airport. 200 people.
Yeah, I was going to get on that. That was also, you see how you said people don't read? People do read. People listen to you. But this is what it is. And guys, I know a lot of times I attack Americans and all that, but just so you guys know, it's not white Americans, it's not black Americans, it's not brown Americans, it's Americans. And even though I'm not American, I feel like I'm American. This is what it is. Just like that Dominican American lady said in the news. She said, she showed a passport. She said, yeah, but look, even with my American passport. So now this note from this doctor from labs doesn't, she had a note from last month. But what her thing was, I got an American passport. That's what most of those people they were doing. A lot of them were, again, they were Dominican. Most of them that were stuck there were Dominican, but you know, they're American citizens. And they thought the almighty rule, listen, I'm American, they gotta let me get home. So they thought it was gonna oversee everything, like, all right, only a few of us gonna do it and they're gonna let us get in right away. So everybody went just thinking with the blue passport they were going to get in, and they got stuck.
I had one lady in it was a Facebook group with the young lady from Santiago, and then we spoke in private. I had one lady that posted a conspiracy video of why we shouldn't get tested to go back to the States. And I said, that video is a great video. What I want you to do is go to the airport with that video and show the airline and see what they tell you. The hell? Come on, you got to get the negative test. I don't care about no video. I don't care about what Flip Flop says, what Mundo says. If you don't have that test,
now if you get a loophole or law or something that allows you to go through without it, whether it's by religion, whether it's by this, then do a video on that. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people will ride with that. You know, so they can be able to get it done with it. But besides that, there's certain things we can't change that we got to roll with. That's why the same thing with the vac, I say, no matter how many videos or how much I'm against it, I can only do nothing but to hope for the best of it. I'm hoping that everything I'm thinking or that I was taught or maybe I was brainwashed to think negative of it, let me hope that I'm wrong. Because people are still going to do it. They're still going to implement it. So let's just hope it is for the better and that science is moving us on forward. Because we can't stop it.
Yeah, and the weirdest thing, we're getting to SC Kid's comment. The weirdest thing is, if you get the vaccine, you still got to get tested. You still got to wear a mask. I don't know why to get the vaccine then if I still got to do everything just as everybody else does who didn't take the vaccine.
That's get it.
You still can get it. That's a whole nother show. So SC Kid said, can you manage living in DR without knowing Spanish? Now, obviously, Mundo speaks Spanish. I speak Spanish. But I know people who have been in this country over 20 years who don't speak a lick of Spanish. Are they enjoying life? I don't know. Their lives are more stuck in the North Coast and Sosua, basically, or mainly Puerto Plata, and they're limited to where they can go, what they can do. So is it a fun life? I don't know. Maybe they only want to communicate with American chicks. We talked about this the other day about how dudes tell, oh, meet a regular girl, but they can't even communicate. I saw an instance, and I won't get too deep into detail, where a certain dude had a situation. And someone said to me, why didn't he just go over there? I said, well, you got to understand something. He don't speak Spanish. So the normal thing in his situation, if it had been us, would have been to go right to that location and get done what we needed done. Because he didn't speak Spanish, he was afraid to go somewhere and ask for help because he couldn't communicate. And he was worried that something would happen to him. We know that wouldn't have been the case. They would have offered to help. They would have offered to help. But his fear of non-communication stopped him from seeking help. My biggest thing is my Spanish is far from perfect. I understand everything, but my pronunciation still sucks to this day in certain cases, but I can communicate and I can hold a great conversation. But even minimal Spanish, being able to have a little bit of communication helps you. You can only go, and I've been with guys. I've translated for guys. I've listened to guys talk their version of Spanish. My favorite version of Spanish is when they talk louder in English, hoping it translates. I want you. I want catch up. Then they go
Spanish to English. We do the same thing. They yell at a gringo. Yeah.
That too. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, talking louder does not help her understand you. You know what I'm saying? Do you understand me? No, she don't. So I think it's a better time. Now, if you're bad at Spanish and you're still learning, that's cool. At least you're trying. Because some guys don't even try. My friend Kay, he got much better. I was with him a few weeks ago and I was like, damn. I remember he used every word, said donde. I swear to God, everything was donde. They was like, you hungry? Donde. You know, everything. Mundo,
you know what's so funny? You know what's so funny? My wife's niece, she supposedly always knew English. She supposedly knows a lot of English now. Even my sister-in-law, she wanted me to get her a job. She's like, yo, get her one of the jobs like you get or whatever. But when she was younger, they told me that she knew English. So I'm like talk to see. So I'm like, yeah, talk to me a little bit. So she said, I said, how you say that? For example, the sofa. She said, my name is Mueble. So I'm like, all right, good. I'm like, how you say that? My name is Teléfono. My name. So she was just putting my name on and saying everything in Spanish, and that was English. I said, oh man, I'm like, she good. I didn't want to make her feel bad, but she really thought she knew English by saying that. She supposedly knows now, so I'm gonna have to give her a little test. I ain't never asked her again because she grown now. So I'm embarrassed for I get embarrassed for other people. So I'm scared that she really don't know. And she thinks she know, and I'm gonna have to tell her, no, you don't know. So I've been prolonging that, speaking to her after she grown up. Yeah.
But like I said, he was on that level, same thing, but he got much better. It's still bad Spanish, but he fixed a lot of words that he didn't know. He's actually able to communicate. The funny part is I was sitting, he had his girl with him and her family. And he did pretty good, like the first sentence. Then the second sentence, I was like, good Lord.
I couldn't live nowhere if I can't speak the language. I can go there, I can work, I can do whatever I have to do because I have to. But as far as I'm wanting to go there and stay there, and I know I'm gonna be spending time there, I definitely got to get the language. I told you guys I did Haiti like 2 years ago. In a few days, I'm telling you, it's nothing like not being able to communicate. I've never been through that because normally everywhere I went, people either know English or know Spanish, and it was difficult. And I stood in it, even though it wasn't like no Holiday Inn or anything, but I stood at a hotel. I went to the main gas station in Port-au-Prince, to the bus stop, like to the main places. And still, even trying with the English, maybe I was unlucky at the moment or they weren't too receptive, but I did. It was a hard time. I got it done because we get it done, but it's hard when you don't really know what's going on.
Hey, shout out to Taylor. He said that people in America can't speak English. You're right about that. Ultimate Force, what up with you, baby? E from Miami.
What's good? They can, but they have a hard time as well. But there's so many people that speak Spanish that they get it, they find a way. Or if they're another language, there's always a community that has so many of them where they're able to survive. So that's the thing. So here, for example, that'll be it. Like in Sosua, you'll be able to survive. Why? Because you're always, like Flip said, you'll run into somebody that either's from over there that know a little bit of Spanish or point you in the right direction, or you got a few people that's already accustomed to American or English-speaking people going there, so they're going to have a little bit of the English to be able to meet you halfway. It's not going to be the same thing. You run into a Dominican in Sosua, then you run into a Dominican in San Jose de Ocoa. It's going to be two totally different.
Hold on. And that's exactly right, which is why this comment made me laugh. Shout out to Professor Don Omar. So I told everybody I could understand it, I could read it, I could read, write Spanish forever, ever since I can remember. But my pronunciation was terrible because I never had to talk to my friends in Spanish. I would always listen to them, okay, and I would respond in English, and they knew what I was saying. So I could read it, write it, and it was weird because this is before WhatsApp, before Google Translate. I would literally buy my minutes and text them. I'm gonna tell you, you got to buy minutes back in the day. Even now, some people, now I got a plan. So I buy my minutes and I'm texting. And there's no Google Translate, no WhatsApp, nothing to translate. I'm texting. So when I got in front of the girl, they'd be like, and I'm like, yeah, but I couldn't respond right. And they would look at me and they go, but you text. Like, you text.
Like, it was
I can't say it right. I know what I wanted to say, but I was thinking in English. So I would always be like, "Como se dice?" I always did that until I got my pronunciation right. Like I'd be like,
just if you slip up a bit, they won't be mad. They'll be like, "Okay, you were
don't ask me a crazy word like hammer." I'd be like, "Como se dice hammer?" Like, I don't know.
But you write it out. You still
doing that.
Yeah.
But that's how I got by. Because it was so weird understanding but not being able to communicate to say what I wanted to say. So I would try to, like you said, act it out. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm laughing at that comment. So I was kind of the opposite when it came to Spanish, and still to this day, I think my homegirl laughed at me the other day. I was talking to her moms, and her moms got to a point where she wanted me to say, there was something she wanted me to say, and I could not remember the word, and I was like, damn, and I was stuck. You know what I'm saying? So the mother looked at me. We're going back and forth, and the mother looked at me like, did I say something wrong? Like, what's up? And I was just like, como se dice? You know what I'm saying? So I did that for a long time until my pronunciation got better. And like I said, act it out. Hey, hammer.
And that shows that even a few words, a lot of people got to know, like bad Spanish, little Spanish is better than no Spanish. So 100%. Don't ever be ashamed. Like, man, I ain't going to be able to get that all the way. So what? Get the basics of it. You know what I mean? Even if you get it slang, you're not going for a job interview. Even if you get the regular que lo que, va para allá, or ven aquí, even if you just get the normal, you're going to have the whole conversation. If at least you can get your point across, and then they're going to see the tone you're in, then they're not going to talk to you in big words. They're going to try to shorten it out for you. Ven aquí, and point you. Ven aquí, ven, café. They're going to show you and talk slow, and you're going to be able to, little by little, but definitely you got to try. You need a little bit of Spanish, and then from that little bit, you need to build and build. The more you want to be here, the more Spanish you got to go learn. If you just jumping in, jumping out, hey, keep it English all the way. Whoever around you, they're going to have to adapt to find the way. But if you plan on being here long term and you plan on wanting to be in control of most of your situations, it's best you learn the language.
So look, Mundo, before we get into our final thoughts, I want to get back to the original thing with Joel. I'm gonna run and put something in my cup. Marriage between a DR woman and a gringo. Now, I saw shout to Jackson G. He said it was easy. I don't know. I've never been married down here. Do you know about that process, and what are your thoughts on how it is to get married to as far as a gringo, getting married to a Dominican woman, or that process? Do you know anything about that? Speak on that. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that process. I mean, if it's just the process of it, is real simple, guys. Again, it's just person going out, you get in the right form, the birth certificates, the IDs you need, depositing, setting the date, paying whatever the fee is, which is not a lot. I'm going to try to probably bring a video for the procedures on that and go getting it done. Now, the main thing is finding who to get married and what you getting married for. Because if you really want to marry the person, even if you just met her today, if you guys really want to get married, like anywhere in the world, if it's not for business, even though I'm not encouraging it, people do it for business all the time. But if you guys really want to get married, it's no hard thing to get married nowhere in the world. That's the simplest thing to do. Now, the thing is finding who you're going to marry. Who do you want to marry, So that's how you got to decide also with where you want to go, what type of girl you want, what type of woman you want. Everybody says, I want this, I want that, but do you really want that? You got to know, for example, somebody say, I want a boss, I want somebody beside me, go 50-50, she going to make me build the empire, but are you really ready for, your queen to be out there 40, 60 hours plus doing the same thing, going moving ahead in life. She's not there to cook you those warm meals, or do you want somebody at home doing the warm meals? Do you want somebody that you can conversate with? Do you want somebody take care of everything and be there when you need a female companion? That's the main thing. Is finding what you want and knowing whatever you decide to pick, that you're going to be happy with that. If, for example, if you decide, you want a female that she was in a life or whatever, since this is Simp talk or whatever, you got to know that's what you want. You want a companion. You want somebody that's going to cook, clean. Even though she's not going to look at no other guys anymore, you got to be ready to understand that's what you chose. She come with a past. So you got to be willing to be happy with that. That, as long as she's doing whatever's making you happy, you're going to be all right with that. That if in the future you hear a picture from 88 come up, that's not going to ruin the little 10 years or 5 years or the finances that you done put in and everything. Because that's another thing. Once you get married here, everything from your marriage forward, the female always got PC. So right now, let's say you come in, you work for $1 million. All right. Even though the company is in place, you work for $1 million, you get with her, whatever you marry. And a year from now, y'all break up, you worth $2 million. Yeah, she can't touch your 1M, but that other M, yeah, y'all find that in court. So, I ain't want to take the divorce right away to it, but I'm just letting you, know what you're going to get into. Because some people, we know what we got, and then we want to be mad about it or pouting or complaining. You got to know exactly what you want and go for it. And once you find it, marriage is the easiest thing.
So, real quick, Rich, shout to you for the super chat. Both of them says, what if you were able to get the vaccine for COVID? As I said, what the CDC said was, if you get the vaccine, you still got to get tested. The vaccine, if you get the vaccine, you're the same as the person that doesn't get the vaccine. You can get it. You got to wear a mask. You got to get tested. That's what they said. Now, Lenita said, I got married September 18th. It took my birth certificate and my passport and $200 fee. That's not. Now, is that the process? I heard different versions, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, there's like that. That's what I said. It's a few documents. Is the date you pay the fee, whatever it is. That's why I said I didn't want to say the fee, but 200 sounds around 10,000. I wouldn't say they're lying. I mean, she has no reason to lie. Right. So okay. That's about the price. No, I don't know the price, but what I'm saying, if she just said she did it or he doesn't have no reason to lie, that's about the price. Okay. But I'm going to find out all the details. But again, it's simple. It's just 2 or 3 documents that if you're really about to get married, you're not hiding none of these documents. You should have a little fee, set the date, and go on and get it done. 29, you always show love, so definitely can't ever miss out on any of your questions. Yeah, they popping up everywhere, and I'm going to keep it 100 now. They don't show love.
They don't show no.
They just donated some lights to light up the Faro de Colon, which I'm going to go do. I'll be saying I'm going to do a video on anything. I'll be frank, but they took the curfews to 10 p.m., so I'm definitely going to bring a few of the things I'm saying. They donated, an Asian businessman donated the light bulbs to light up the Faro de Colon, which is like a cross. That's like a structure that lights up to the sky. That's like in honor to Christopher Columbus, discovering or whatever. So he just donated that. So you're not really helping the people. You're just doing something that, even though it helps the country, it makes it look a little bit better. We ain't really about. That ain't helping us, giving Christopher Columbus no shine. And our government should do that. Some light bulbs, our government should do that. It should be no other person taking that shine for that, sign as little as some light bulbs. But they definitely just taking over, the market, which you guys know the market is called the Mercado, where it's like everybody in the street selling everything. They cleaned it up a bit. They took everybody off the streets, where now it only got to be like the shop. So right now in San Cristobal, they clean it up. Even though some people, they try to come out 1 or 2, you always got your rebels, but they getting cleaned out. And then the beauty of it, even all the structures, even though they all old and look all nasty, because the thing, they're going to get fixed up, and most of them is owned by that same group you just mentioned. So any given time, 20 years, I think the Mercado here is going to look like, Chinatown. No disrespect to any Asians in the building.
I love Mercado, and Mercado in every town. I love the Mercados in every town, because there's one. You guys don't know there's a Mercado in every town. There's a version of Sosua in every town. Quiet is kept. So they got different things all over, but I didn't know that about San Cristobal. I had no idea. Dorset, no, I'm not getting the vaccine until they force it on the world. I'll be the last guy. But what I'm saying was, as far as the vaccine goes, you still have to wear masks. You still have to get tested. You basically have to do everything as the person who doesn't have a mask. Jackson Jeter right across the street. Okay. Jose Lopez. It's bad in Jamaica with them. Yeah, they're everywhere. We know the Chinese are everywhere. Shout to them. Mundo, Joel asked, do you teach Spanish?
It's hard. I'm a bad teacher. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. I really don't got no patience. My wife hates it. Yeah. Even to myself, I be feeling bad sometimes. I be a little bit mean to my kids and stuff. I be thinking I gotta understand their kids. But yeah, I'm not a good teacher.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. So look, before we get into by the way, guys, when me and Mundo on here from this point on, I spoke to him behind the scenes. We're gonna do this thing called Final Thoughts. May lead us into the next show, may lead us into another time, but we're gonna end the show on Final Thoughts. Ain't gotta be about the topic, be about whatever he wants to talk about. Before we get into the Final Thoughts, Mundo, is there anything you want to add before we go into that segment?
No. You know, we always gonna be here. So, you know, I just appreciate the only thing I'm just gonna appreciate the love of everybody. You know, we go to the next segment. We always gonna be here. So any questions for the future, I'll always be in the chat. I always, watch Flip channel. So any questions for me, I'm normally in a live. If I'm there, y'all how your third mundo this. If I'm there, I answer.
100%. So also, by the way, for the next videos, whatever, me and Mundo can make this a weekly thing, a bi-weekly thing, whatever. It's up to you guys. Email us, hit us on the emails, hit us on the live, the chat. Go to the channel, wherever you want to reach us, Instagram, whatever. If you guys got any topics you want to know about with us, if you want it separate, get it separate, cool. But if you want us to do a certain topic, like we do these shows, appreciate all 150, 170 you guys that have been popping in and out. Let us know. We'll do the show. That's what this show came based off the first one. So Mundo, I don't know what you got planned to talk about, but I'm gonna let you get into you first for your final thoughts on tonight. Final thoughts for tonight's show.
Since you told me, basically when you told me that, I didn't really know where to take it, since it's just final thoughts on anything. But definitely the first topic you hit, which was about the flag, I thought that's why I didn't really do the video. I said maybe I'll touch on that on final thoughts or whatever. No. But really, we touched on it at the beginning, which is quite simple. But the message that I was going to say that come with that, everything ain't what it seems, man. It's always a backstory to anything. It's real easy, to mislead and it's normally us. Like, we're going to take the message that we predetermined to receive. I noticed that myself, I said sometimes I say like, and with this, I'm not saying don't try to change the world. But it's certain things you can't change. So you got to know not to put yourself, your family, your loved ones in a certain position just to do something. It's a right time when to act. It's a right time when to hold back. It's like you kind of act. Let me read it. Let me translate it, which it includes with it, because it comes with my wife. Now, a lot of friends be taking advantage of her and all, and I be mad. So I be arguing at her for her being so nice because they taking advantage of her. Then my mom's at the same time just going through something. She was taking care of a family member during when I hit her up. She was a little upset. She's like, you try to help people out, and then they always just want. They don't recognize you helping. They want more, and they arguing. But my wife had put something up, which I don't want to be long, but just to hit y'all with it, since it's a final thought, so we could get deep with it. Look, I'm gonna read it in Spanish, and it'll be like an English to Spanish one. Each line, I'm gonna translate. It says, "Eres el favor que hiciste sin esperar nada." You are the favor that you did without expecting anything in return. El turno que respetaste. The turn you respected. For example, somebody next in line, that turn you respected. You ain't skipped the line. La basura que levantaste cuando nadie vio. That piece of garbage that you picked up and threw out when nobody was watching. La sonrisa al bebé en la fila del súper. That smile to a child in the supermarket line. El chisme que no contaste. The gossip that you did not tell forward. El fingir que no viste algo para no incomodar. Faking like you didn't see something, not to make anybody else uncomfortable. No somos lo que dicen o opinan. Somos lo que hacemos. We are not what they say or give opinion on. We are what we do. So my final thoughts, I'm going to end it on that. So, we can try to make the world a better place and, and thrive as people.
That's real. That's real, Mundo. That's definitely real. I appreciate you. Now, I'm going to get into my final thoughts. Guys, real quick before I get into my final thoughts, after this show is over, I will go into the comment section, the pinned comments. I'm going to put the same thing I posted in here, Mundo's channel, Mundo's Cash App, the Super Bowl info, and the Super Bowl boxes that my man Josh has set up. Paradise Life and Flip Flop. One's $10 a box, one's $20 a box. So when we're done with the show, go in that pinned comment and give me about 10 minutes. I'll type everything in there, and you guys can check everything out. So make sure you sub to Mundo's channel as well. So my final thoughts tonight, and this is something. Shout to Black Man Travels. I've said this in many groups. I'm always voice my opinion. And let me give you a background before I get into this comment I made. If you met me, you know I'm very confident. Mundo calls me narcissistic.
And not in a bad way. I think when somebody has said it to me, and I said, not probably, but it's not in a bad way. You're just confident, yeah.
And I've never had a problem with women in my life. Knock on wood. Thanks to my dad. Thanks, Dad. So I don't come from a point of view where I worry about women. I chase women. My mindset is a little bit different, thanks to my father. I could run a resume down about how many women I've been with before I had a passport and blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to tell you what I wrote on this group the other night. And it got over 140 comments in less than a day.
Sparked it.
I mean, it was big. And then this one dude, we went back and forth because, and I'm going to tell you what happened. We went back and forth because he had the mindset that I used to have when I was a little boy. So let me get into the comment. This is exactly what I wrote. It's on the Facebook group. Some of you guys in that group, you saw it for yourself. So it said, PSA, I'm not a relationship expert or a bullshit artist. But what I am is someone with 42 years of real life experience. An OG pulled me to the side 15 years ago and made it very simple. You pay for PUSSY every time you go on a date or put gas in your car or go meet a woman or whatever you do, right? I never thought of it like that. Pay for play is a direct action and avoidance of the shenanigans of dropping a bag and going home with a heart on and a sack heavier than a Santa bag on Christmas Eve. So please, gentlemen, stop pocket watching, stop D-watching or anything else. Do you and do you well. There's a lot of suckers who just can't be anything else but suckers. Guide them. Share your experience and your info. Stop judging on what another man does. This is super lame, and that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I'm always right. Now, the reason I posted that, and then I had a backlash from a young brother who says he always gets for free. And I had to check him. So our conversation, but everybody pretty much agreed, but me and this one young brother went back. He goes, I get it for free. I smashed the girl at the Halloween party with a mask on. I smashed the girl at the wedding with the flowers and the bouquet. He just went on and on about all these girls he smashed. I said, my man, listen. And I shout to all my people that watch. But there's some things you really don't know about me. I had to tell him, I said, brother, I respect what you're doing. But everything you've done, I've done it 10 times and forgot about it.
A long time ago.
Until 24 years old, up until 24 years old, I've done more than most people done in their entire life. So, but I don't put another person down who hasn't done that.
Hasn't done it, yeah. It's just the environment we were in.
I don't go say I'm better than anybody. I don't go bragging that, yes, I had hundreds of women before I had a passport, and then tell you you're a bad person for having a woman. That's not my position. I know my life is my life. Your life is your life. None of us live the same. And how I feel about me, how I'm narcissistic, I'm confident, how I've never had a problem with women. There's another guy somewhere above me. It's like when you talk about money. We always say, don't talk about money because there's always a guy got more money than you who's listening. And you look like a fool to that guy. You think you're impressing broke people, but there's a guy with more money just like you. So for me, there's another guy that's above me. That's like, like I do with guys when they tell their little stories. I say that to say this. Everyone is different. There's levels to this. So when the young boy was going on, I remember that was my mindset. I definitely had that mindset back in the day. I definitely said I would never pay for a woman. I definitely played myself, but then I grew up. Then I matured. Then I realized no matter what you do, whether it's the expenditure of your time, it costs. If you only spend time, it costs. And I'm going to tell you why. I had women that wanted to be with me so bad. They paid my mortgage. They paid my car note. They took my kids shopping because my time is valuable. And I didn't realize it back then that what they were doing, I was basically a hoe. But you know what I'm saying? But I didn't realize because I was so busy, they'd be like, yo, what are you doing? I'm fine right now, I handle something. And they're like, well, I'll take care of that. Come to the crib. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when guys go, oh, I did it for free, I did this, I hear guys bragging about trying to be who paid the less, who did this for what? If I pay $10 and you pay $5, it doesn't matter. If I pay $100, and I'm just talking about pay for play, I'm talking about in general.
That's like want to have a nice meal and bragging about who gave the lowest tip.
You understand? Like Reservoir Dogs. Oh, I'm not tipping. Are you crazy? Why are you not tipping? She's a waitress. That's her job. No, you got to tip. Remember that? So it's like all the bragging I see, and amongst men, mainly black men, unfortunately, we brag and boast in the competition. I don't feel I have competition in anything I do. But I'm not going to talk down on someone. I'm not going to judge someone. Maybe a little, but that's between me and myself. I'm not going to say I'm better than anyone at any point. And I've had people walk up on me like, oh, man, it's flip-flop. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? What's going on? And they're blown away by how I approach them. Yeah. I'm like, what's up? I'm a regular person, but I'm approachable, and I'm always willing to talk. I've had guys tell me, man, you look real busy in that corner. I ain't want to bother you. Brother, if you don't come bother me, you'll never talk to me because I'm always surrounded by people in that corner. You know what I'm saying? But my biggest thing is when I see people brag and boast about what they've done, to me, that means you haven't done enough. Because I hear the stories. I see the photos. I know as men, guys want approval. I'm so far past it. I think the last time I needed approval, I was probably 14 years old. I think that's the last time I looked for approval amongst my peers because I don't need it. I co-sign me. I am the person that I need to be comfortable with. So when I see that, I just laugh and I go, ha, 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 that's funny. But I won't give my full opinion because I'm not going to put that person down. Damn, so I say that to say this to the guys who travel, to the guys who don't travel, to the guys who feel a certain way when their friends talk and get put down and got people watching them and pocket watching them. Understand this. For anybody that's so focused on what you're doing, how you spend your money, how you living, they must not be living a great life at all. Continue to live your life. Focus on yourself, king, and queens, focus on yourself as well. This goes to my ladies as well. Be you, do you, and do you well, and enjoy life. So that's my final thought for tonight. Mundo, I really appreciate you for coming through. Real quick, I think we got a couple of comments. Let me see who commented. If there's anything we want to take. Tony Hernandez, what up? 905, what's good? Miguel Torres, Alfred. Okay, guys. Yeah, everyone's staying on it. Exactly. That's my point. Appreciate you, Miguel. Thank you. And like I said, thank you, Mundo, for coming out.
No doubt. Basically, you guys for having me.
Basically, that's it for the night. Stay tuned. Like I said, me and Mundo may make this a weekly thing. It's based on you guys and the content you guys want. If we don't do a weekly, we'll definitely do a bi-weekly. It's up to you guys. Hit us up for information. We'll put the content out there. Mundo, once again, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for coming out.
Again, appreciate you having me.
Guys,
Appreciate everybody. You guys stay blessed. And
thank all you guys for coming out. Hit that like button. Check that comment. Check the pinned comment section. I'm gonna post the channel again. Make sure you guys sub to the channel. Appreciate you guys. Much love. Stay tuned. Go check the testing site video out so you know where to get tested. All right. Love all you guys, man. Stay up. Stay safe. Be the best you can be. I'm out.